In the heart of Ghana, where the rhythm of life beats strong in bustling markets and echoes softly along serene beaches, two souls find themselves drawn together by fate. Kofi, a young software developer from Kumasi, has just moved to Accra in search of new opportunities. With dreams as vast as the Atlantic Ocean, he carries with him a quiet determination and a desire for connection. Meanwhile, Ama, a vibrant woman from Tima, spends her days running her family's restaurant, blending spices and flavors with the same passion she pours into her relationships. Her laughter lights up rooms, but beneath her confident exterior lies a heart that longs for someone who truly understands her. Their paths cross unexpectedly one morning at Osu Market, where a chance encounter sparks something neither can ignore. From this meeting grows a friendship rooted in shared experiences and mutual respect, slowly blossoming into something deeper. But as they navigate the challenges of modern life, career pressures, personal doubts, and moments of misunderstanding, they must learn to communicate openly and trust fully if their bond is to withstand the test of time. Set against the vibrant backdrop of Ghanaian culture, The Perfect Match is a tale of love, growth, and the power of human connection. Join Kofi and Ama on their journey, as they discover that sometimes, the perfect match isn't about finding perfection, it's about embracing imperfection together. In the bustling streets of Accra, where the air was filled with the scent of fried plantains and the sound of car horns, two lives were about to collide. Kofi, a young man from Kumasi, had just moved to the capital city for work. He was tall, with warm brown eyes that always seemed to hold a glimmer of hope. That morning, as he walked through Osu Market, his mind was preoccupied with thoughts of starting fresh in this new place. Amidst the crowd, Ama caught his eye. She stood out not because she was dressed differently but because her laughter seemed to brighten the entire market. Her hair was tied up neatly in braids and her smile was infectious. Ama, who grew up in Tima, often visited the market on weekends to buy fresh produce for her family's small restaurant. When their eyes met, it felt like time paused for a moment. "Excuse me," Kofi said shyly, stepping closer to ask directions. "Can you tell me how to get to the circle?" Ama turned around, surprised by his voice but smiling warmly. "Sure. Go straight ahead until you see the big red sign, then turn left." Kofi nodded, grateful for her kindness. As they spoke, there was an unspoken connection between them. Before leaving, Kofi hesitated and added, "Thank you so much. You've been very helpful." "You're welcome," Ama replied softly, watching him walk away. Little did they know, this chance meeting would change both their lives forever. Days passed, and life continued its usual rhythm for both Kofi and Ama. Kofi started working at a tech company downtown while Ama helped her mother run their restaurant in Tima. Despite their busy schedules, neither could shake off the memory of their brief encounter at the market. One evening, fate intervened again when Kofi decided to try a new eatery near his office. It wasn't long before he realized he was sitting in none other than Ama's family restaurant. The moment she recognized him, her face lit up with surprise. "Hey, it's you," she exclaimed, walking over to greet him. "What brings you here?" Kofi chuckled nervously. "I didn't know this was your place. I guess destiny wanted us to meet again." Ama laughed, handing him a menu. "Well, consider yourself lucky. Our jollof rice is the best in town." As they talked, Kofi learned more about Ama, her love for cooking, her dreams of expanding the business, and her passion for helping others. In return, Ama listened intently as Kofi shared stories about his life in Kumasi and his ambitions as a software developer. By the end of the meal, they exchanged numbers, promising to stay in touch. Over the next few weeks, Kofi and Ama began spending more time together. They went for walks along Labodi Beach, shared meals at various restaurants, and even attended cultural festivals in Jamestown. Their friendship blossomed naturally, built on mutual respect and understanding. One Saturday afternoon, they found themselves strolling through Makola Market. Ama pointed out different stalls selling colorful fabrics, spices, and handmade crafts. "This is one of my favorite places," she admitted. There's something special about seeing people come together like this. Kofi agreed, marveling at the vibrant energy surrounding them. It reminds me of home, he said wistfully. But being here with you makes it feel different. Ama blushed slightly, touched by his words. You make everything seem better, Kofi. Thank you for showing me another side of Accra. Their conversations flowed effortlessly, covering topics ranging from childhood memories to future aspirations. Though neither mentioned love explicitly, the bond growing between them was undeniable. One evening, after a long day at work, Kofi and Ama met at their favorite cafe near Osu. The conversation began pleasantly enough, with laughter over shared stories of the week. However, as they discussed future plans, tensions arose unexpectedly. I think we should spend more time together, Kofi said earnestly. Maybe even plan something bigger, like a weekend getaway. Ama frowned slightly, her tone cautious. I'm not sure if I can afford that right now. Running the restaurant keeps me busy, and saving money is important for us. Kofi sighed, a frustration creeping into his voice. It's not just about money, Ama. It's about making an effort to prioritize our relationship. Ama bristled at his words. Are you saying I don't care about us? I've been supporting you through everything. Their voices grew louder, drawing curious glances from nearby patrons. Finally, Ama stood up abruptly. Let's talk about this later, she muttered, grabbing her bag and walking out. Left alone, Kofi stared at his untouched coffee, regret already sinking in. He hadn't meant to hurt her feelings, but the words had slipped out before he could stop them. Later that night, Ama sat on her bed, replaying the argument in her mind. She understood where Kofi was coming from, but it stung to feel accused of neglecting their bond. Still, she missed him already and wondered how they could fix things between them. The days following their disagreement were tense. Both Kofi and Ama avoided contacting each other, lost in their own thoughts. For Kofi, guilt gnawed at him constantly. He realized he had been selfish, failing to consider Ama's responsibilities and pressures. Sitting in his apartment one evening, Kofi pulled out his phone and drafted a message. Ama, I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean to make you feel bad. He deleted it, then rewrote it multiple times, unsure of how to express himself clearly. Meanwhile, Ama confided in her best friend, Efua, during a quiet moment at the restaurant. I know he's right, she admitted, stirring sugar into her tea. But sometimes it feels like he doesn't understand how much I already give. Efua nodded sympathetically. Relationships need balance, Ama. Maybe you both just need to sit down and really listen to each other. Her advice resonated deeply with Ama. By the end of the week, she decided to reach out fast, determined to mend their fragile connection. As Ama reached out to Kofi, another storm brewed in his life, his job. The tech company where he worked announced a major project deadline, requiring overtime and intense focus. Kofi found himself buried under stress, struggling to keep up with demands while also worrying about his relationship with Ama. One night, exhausted and frustrated, he called her, hoping for comfort. Hey, he greeted weakly. How are you? Ama sensed his weariness immediately. Kofi, what's wrong? You sound tired. He hesitated, unsure whether to burden her with his problems. But when she insisted, he finally opened up. Work has been crazy lately. I'm barely sleeping, and I feel like I'm letting everyone down. Instead of judgment, Ama offered understanding. You are doing your best, Kofi. Don't forget that. And no matter what happens, I'll always be here for you. Her words brought tears to his eyes. In that moment, he realized how lucky he was to have someone like Ama by his side. Encouraged by Ama's kindness, Kofi poured all his energy into completing the project. Though the workload remained heavy, knowing she believed in him gave him strength. On weekends, Ama visited him, bringing homemade soups and encouraging notes to lift his spirits. You are almost done, she reminded him one Saturday afternoon, placing a bowl of wekai on his desk. Just hang in there a little longer. Kofi smiled gratefully, pulling her into a hug. Thank you, Ama. I couldn't do this without you. Their bond deepened during these trying times, proving that true love thrives amidst challenges. As the project neared completion, Kofi felt a renewed sense of purpose, not only in his career but also in his relationship. Despite their growing closeness, another obstacle emerged. During a casual dinner at Ama's family restaurant, Kofi mentioned attending a friend's wedding in Kumasi. To his surprise, Ama reacted sharply. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" she asked, her voice tinged with irritation. "Do you expect me to tag along without any notice?" Kofi blinked, taken aback. "I wasn't asking you to come. I thought you'd understand, I need some time away too." This exchange left them both hurt and confused. Over the next few days, they avoided discussing the issue, creating a distance neither wanted. Yet deep down, they knew they needed to address the elephant in the room. Seeing the strain between Kofi and Ama, their friends intervened. Efua cornered Ama one evening, urging her to communicate openly. "Talk to him, Ama. Holding grudges won't solve anything." At the same time, Kofi's colleague Kwame advised him to take responsibility. "If you value her, show her. Actions speak louder than words." Inspired by their friends' wisdom, Kofi and Ama separately resolved to bridge the gap between them. Determined to reconnect, Kofi surprised Ama by visiting her hometown in Tima. Armed with flowers and heartfelt apologies, he knocked on her door early one Sunday morning. "Ama, I'm sorry," he began sincerely. "I've been thinking a lot, and I realize I haven't been fair to you." Touched by his effort, Ama invited him inside. Together, they spent the day exploring Tima, sharing memories and rediscovering their connection. During his visit, Kofi met Ama's extended family, including her parents and siblings. They welcomed him warmly, impressed by his respect and sincerity. This interaction strengthened Ama's trust in him, solidifying their bond further. In private moments, Kofi revealed his deepest fears of failure, rejection, and losing Ama. Moved by his honesty, Ama reciprocated, confessing her insecurities about commitment and self-worth. Their vulnerability brought them closer than ever. With newfound clarity, Kofi and Ama tackled their doubts head-on. Through open conversations and mutual support, they built a foundation rooted in trust and empathy. They addressed lingering issues, learning to compromise and appreciate each other's perspectives. This process transformed their relationship, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Finally, on a sunny afternoon at Labodi Beach, Kofi knelt before Ama, holding a simple ring. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his voice filled with hope. Tears streaming down her face, Ama nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, Kofi. Yes." Surrounded by friends and family, they celebrated their union, marking the beginning of a lifetime together. Truly, they were the perfect match.